This video was sponsored by Very Cool Shirts. I'm sorry. I've been dealing with an upset stomach for a while now. That's why I wear the tummy tee from Very Cool Shirts. Links are available in the description below, and you can grab yourself one for 10% off for using code negative. Their sizes run a little large, so get a size smaller than you think. I'm wearing a size extra small. I wish
I could get everyone to work together.
When I was a little kid, I thought strawberry shortcake was stupid because I was brainwashed by the boys at school saying that, oh, it's for girls and therefore it is bad. Then my nanny, my mom's mom, was taking care of my sister and I, and she didn't know what to do, and we were all bored and we were panicking, and Strawberry Shortcake was on the TV. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. And she goes, please just watch it with it. Just give it a try. Worst thing you can do is prove yourself right. So me, my sister, and I sat down to watch an episode of the 2003 Strawberry Shortcake. And that's when I realized the boys in my elementary school are idiots. I liked that show. I felt safe, comfortable, I could just relax. And that was really my gateway into getting into quote unquote girl media and actually taking it seriously. And now here I am, a full-grown adult talking about Tinkerbell, Ever After High, and My Little Pony for my career. Who would have thought my nanny would have created a butterfly effect?
Actually, I love every day. This year, I'm going to make a list of my friends, so I'll remember to get presents for all of them.
I can't get over how you have a girl based off strawberries, a girl based off angel food cake, girl based off oranges, a girl based off ginger snaps, and then you have boy. Strawberry Shortcake was actually first a character created for American Greetings greeting cards in 1973. The character was so popular that they even created other merchandise until she became a material girl. The character was created by Barbie Sargent. On the left, you can see the first illustration made, which was originally just called Girl Holding Daisy. Afterward, in the late 70s, the job was assigned to Muriel Farian. She designed basically all the other characters, and her artwork is largely considered the titular and iconic look for Strawberry Shortcake. And as more and more artists were assigned the role of illustrating Strawberry Shortcake, the world began to flesh out more. The popularity of the greeting cards made them realize, hey, we could be making more money off of this. And so Kenner got the rights to the Strawberry Shortcake ragdoll back in the 1980s. In 1984, Barbie Sargent sued American Greetings to get the rights to Strawberry Shortcake back since she did make it. And, well, I read through it, and frankly, I'm not entirely sure of the outcome. Okay, so here's the annoying thing. If you read the Wikipedia article for Strawberry Shortcake, all they say is, Barbie returned the copyrights to American Greetings so that they could continue the success of Strawberry Shortcake. Now, after reading the legalese of this whole document, I'm gonna summarize what went down and try to extrapolate what I think happened. Essentially, American Greetings argued that we hired her for the art, so the copyright belongs to us. And Barbie said, yeah, that'd be the case if I was employed by you. I'm an independent contractor. That wasn't in the contract. So I still have the copyright. And the court said, yeah, Barbie's right. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works today. Heck, when I hire an artist for stuff for my channel, I will ask them, I want the copyright, and they will include a clause and an extra fee on top of it. Usually it's like double the cost of just commissioning an artist. So Barbie said, cool, I'm gonna copyright my stuff. And here's the part that's weird, and if you read the document yourself, please tell me if I interpreted this wrong, because this is the part where it's stupid. The court said, okay, yeah, sure, you can copyright it, but don't do anything with it. And I think they didn't want her to do anything with it until the whole court proceedings ended, and probably a little bit after that, until the whole hullabaloo passed over. So what I'm guessing is that Barbie just sold the rights back to American Greetings, because what else are you gonna do with it? But I'm not entirely sure. This whole case is weird. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I got eyes and I can read, and I'm not quite sure if there's many other ways to interpret what I read. So if there's someone in there that has a better understanding of Strawberry Shortcake legal lore, please tell me in the comments below and enlighten everyone. In 1980, the first animated special released, utilizing the characters made from the greeting cards and establishing Strawberry Shortcake as a children's cartoon franchise. Featuring the villain, the peculiar purple pie man of Porcupine Peak. Geez, you guys really reached for it there. This was the series that my nanny remembered and thought we would watch when she was showing us the 2003 version, so she also got to be reintroduced to Strawberry Shortcake. This movie is a musical where you have to interrupt the story just to sing about something random, which was incredibly common for 80s animated movies. Over time, we've gotten better about musicals and have more established rules on when you're supposed to add a song instead of singing about waking up. Oh my god, are you serious? Now, this series really sort of stole the general concept from the Smurfs, except the villain just wants the berries from them. Huck, or generic boy character, was more of a Huckleberry Finn sort of character, since he's supposed to be modeled after the Huckleberry, but that was also abandoned as they realized this show appealed largely to girls and boy dolls don't sell well. In 1991, THQ was given the license to make toys, but it didn't actually appeal to anyone and there wasn't any animated series. It's still considered an iteration of Strawberry Shortcake, but it's mostly forgotten about since the only notable thing about it was how unnotable it was. And for my gamers in the audience, yes, I am talking about the same THQ that gave us Darksiders and Saints Row. THQ stood for Toy Headquarters and was going through a merger the same year and bought a video game developer, which, well, you can guess what happened. And then the rights were passed around to literally everyone. Bandai got the rights for 2002 and redesigned her. And then they redesigned her again just a little bit to make her more modern. But here's where it gets kind of sad. Iconics, the holdings company, essentially a company that buys other companies to stay rich, bought the rights from American Greetings for $105 million. Which, to be fair, I'm surprised American Greetings held onto the rights for so long. But Iconics doesn't hold on to it for long since they sell it to DHX Media for $345 million. And then Iconics was sold off because they were in a lot of debt. Then in 2009 to 2015, Moonscoop Group, yes, the same group that produced Code Lyoko, also produced this iteration of Strawberry Shortcake, where they redesigned her again. Frankly, I love this redesign. I think she looks adorable, but the CG animation is creepy. DHX, the same company that animated My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, originally attempted this monstrosity for their reboot. Geez, guys, I know I compared Strawberry Shortcake to the Smurfs, but I didn't think you'd make her into a Smurf. But then changed everything to their flash animation looking stuff, which I love her outfit, but I just don't feel like it's really Strawberry Shortcake anymore. There's no magic in it. I touched on the original 1980s Strawberry Shortcake, but now I want to focus on what I feel is the golden age for Strawberry Shortcake. The 2003 Strawberry Shortcake. I'm probably saying that through rose-colored glasses, but I don't care. The age of Strawberry Shortcake has always been nebulous, but here you can clearly see them try to make her more of a preteen, somewhere around 12 years old, and she lives in Strawberry Land, which is designed more like Candyland, something that was weirdly iconic during 2003. This was the first strong deviation from the original bonnet-wearing character we all knew, shifting the franchise into a more modern yet still fantastical setting. I appreciate this version because they still kept details from the original 80s version and seamlessly blended it with an updated look. It looks like it's appropriate for either the 80s or the early 2000s. Okay, help me settle an argument. So I think this era is her in like a preteen, sort of tween sort of age. My partner thinks they're still just little kids in this era. What do you guys think? I could be wrong. I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm perfectly viable, but then again, it's made for kids. I'm willing to bite the bullet if I am wrong. And while I'm at it, why isn't there a pumpkin character in Strawberry Shortcake? Pumpkin pie is a dessert. And pumpkins are basically just really big berries when you think of it. I know they're technically gourds, shut up, I don't care. Good thing I have this very cool Shirts Gumpkin beanie that expands into a full pumpkin little jack-o'-lantern face, which is also available on their website. And since this is being released around Halloween, I asked them if I could also have this because it's adorable and I love it and I love Halloween. This era is very feel-good. You want to just escape to a world where people are just friends and there's nothing to really worry about. That's this show. You get back from a hard day at school and just need to turn off your brain and desperately try to remember that life is worth living. You plop yourself in front of this show and maybe you won't run away from home. People are just nice. And why wouldn't they? Everything is sweet. Literally everything. It's Candyland. And everyone helps each other out.
Exactly. Cakes are meant to be eaten, not lived in.
Except custard. Custard can get bit. And a titular part of Strawberry Shortcake is random songs just for funsies, and this iteration made sure to keep it. And it's also probably why some episodes are about an hour long. Sometimes even the characters in this show are just like, we get it. Get out of here. We're done singing. Just leave.
No horse's leg in the history of horses' legs hurts as much as mine hurts.
I'll pour you some juice.
But it might put you in a better mood.
Can we get a gallon of juice for custard?
Tell another one.
I have one.
When are you going to tell it?
As soon as you stop talking.
I am the one.
Come on up. There's nothing funner than tree climbing.
In this episode, Strawberry and the gang learn about ableism. Sometimes in the show, it feels like they got their transitions from PowerPoint, and then they just spam them in, thinking that it's cool and cutting edge.
What if she doesn't want to come back home?
I've decided to stay here on Ice Cream Island.
Yes, sirree. That horse is one of a kind of horse.
Wow, yeah. Remember those times she gave us free labor?
We go together like a hot dog goes with mustard or cream.
Whoa. I'm not sure it's appropriate to go straight from a hot dog to white liquid stuff while Strawberry is writing it. Next time, let's think this through, guys. This is one of those shows where if you like My Little Pony or Tinkerbell, this show scratches the same itch. A bunch of friends that are all designed after one specific thing, in this case, desserts. You got fun, cute lessons about friendship and being nice, a magical land that looks like it would be legitimately fun and interesting to live in. It's that comfy escapism I so desperately crave. Sometimes I don't want a show about kung fu action and butt kicking. I want to just make some sweets and have fun with friends. I want to feel like everything in the world is just okay instead of constantly crumbling to the ground. Am I speaking out of nostalgia? Maybe a little bit. But is there something to be said about how kids shows are approached nowadays? I think yes. I really miss when they had an emphasis on the setting, where it was a fun, magical world that operated on its own rules, logic be darned. Now, you have great shows for kids nowadays, like Steven Universe and Owl House, but the focus is on the overarching narrative, which, I mean, yeah, it should be. I think the reason I appreciated Adventure Time as more of a modern cartoon was that it was just a big goofball show in a big goofball world, until it learned to grow with its audience and then actually, develop some story progression. But that was later down the line. In the beginning, it was just a bunch of fun. You don't really see a lot of shows nowadays that have that good in-between of a good story and really focusing on that just turn off your brain and have fun sort of feel. Cute characters in a cute world without being boring. I think I'm technically describing slice of life. Am I describing slice of life? And that's not easy to do, but that is what I desperately crave nowadays. Honestly, I think the closest thing to that right now is Bluey, but not quite, since it's very much just our world, but with dogs. And I think it's weird, but also really cool how they have them age up to be, actual teenagers and that can drive a car. You can argue it takes away from some of the magic the moment you start adding modern technology, which I would agree, but also I like outfit changes and they look adorable. But now let's jump to 2015 for the next generation of Strawberry Shortcake. Not only is this 3D animated, for some reason, there's also little strawberry gremlins, which, okay, I guess that's fine. I'm not really into it, but I'm not entirely against it. And now we're deviating away from the Candyland world back to an actual strawberry garden. My problem is just that with how they designed Strawberry Shortcake's face, they really try to emulate that childlike mushiness that kids have, those pinchable cheeks they got. And that works with a 2D illustration, but 3D animation just doesn't quite reach that same feeling, at least not for a streamlined 3D animation. And so it just looks deformed to me, but I'll try to look past it and try to appreciate the show first before I toss it out because of the aesthetics. My biggest problem is that all of their outfits look samey. You can't really differentiate any of them except for their hair color. Their character design is severely lacking.
But what if it overflows? Rivers of juice! My salon gets flooded!
Is that Pinkie Pie? Also, Custard doesn't talk anymore. She's just a cat now. Kinda lame if you ask me. The vibe of this show is very different. When there's a problem, it feels like they really need to stop and think about how they're going to tackle it. In the previous iterations, it felt like there was a problem they had to face that you just knew was going to get resolved with or without a lot of personal intervention. Sorry, it's really cold in here. That's why I wear the Dark Mage Chill Pant to keep me warm, also available on Very Cool Shirts website. Therefore, the show is technically more engaging per episode. It's not quite a show where you turn off your brain anymore, and I like how they're actually tiny again, literally the size of bugs, which they seem to go back and forth on every reboot. Some characters that would usually appear later in the series is front and center in this one, like lemon meringue, raspberry torte, plum pudding. But, can I have a small tangent? Why is Orange just orange? I know she's Orange Blossom, but she's not really a dessert specifically. I get they wanted to have berry-based desserts, but orange just feels out of place. I mean, there's some times when they change certain characters to being like just something blossom and just like have the flower of the berry that of which it is based off of, but Orange never really got a dessert specific to her. It's always been just Orange Blossom. Heck, she has a dog named Marmalade. Her dog understands the assignment better than Orange. It's not a big deal. I'm just upset at the creators. There's nothing wrong with her character, but there was a theme and they didn't stick to it. All in all, Berry Bitty Adventures is a fun show, but it just doesn't quite feel as memorable. It feels like this is where the show is more designed to appeal to kids to sell toys. I know that's always the case, but we're now well into the time where they were studying children to better appeal to them. Like there's a checklist you need to accomplish while making a show. It dips into that corporate feeling, which doesn't necessarily make it bad, but I just don't feel like it has the same heart put into it. And now we delve into the DHX 2021 version of Strawberry Shortcake. The variation I have been dreading the most. The weird Smurf-looking one was never adapted into an actual show. Instead, we got this. First of all, it's back to being 2D animated cartoon. So already we're on the right track again. They changed the hat into a beanie, and now she's like a human? Just a human kid that's trying to be a baker. The magic aspect is stripped away, so already I have a problem. This just isn't what I want from Strawberry Shortcake. I want them to be in a magical world. I don't like our world. The thing they did right about this show is that they all have actual personalities. Like, they aren't caricatures. They aren't just girls made to be girly, which I feel the CGI version was. The characters feel memorable, and they establish that very quickly.
Mixer, huh? I can take a look. What mixer? Oh, what? Did you say mixer? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just gonna stir this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, no more inventions needed here.
Pre-baking nerves run in the family.
Oh yeah, they all do this aside where they talk to the audience like it's a reality TV show. I mean, if I frame it like a Great British Bake Off reality TV show sort of deal, it works. I thought it'd be dumb, but I kind of like it. I was watching this with my partner, and she said that it would have made more sense if they introduced it somehow, like have it be a video diary or something, but then that wouldn't allow any other characters to do it. I want to say that it doesn't work and it's dumb, but it works. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they just do it instead of trying to justify it that makes it work. Maybe it's that reverse thinking of just, here it is, it's here, just accept it, and that makes it function better. because a lot of the time they'll make it to where they're using their smartphone and look how trendy I am, and that's worse. And it's by DHX, so they brought back the singing, as expected from DHX.
I heard that it is so. Ooh, look at me! I'm a simple country berry. I make simple pastries for simple people.
Oh, wow. They really changed Raspberry Tart, but I also like it. It's weird how she's a popular villain girl now, but it also makes sense since Raspberry Torts can be a little sour, and I love how she's voiced by Rarity, my personal favorite. But who is that?
I'm Raspberry Tart. That's my truck over there. Oh, and this is sour grapes.
That's sour grapes? What did they do to you? Okay, wow. Why? I mean, at first Sour Grapes was a villain, an adult woman villain. And then they changed her design into this overly saturated and garish scene emo design, like a kid with pronouns. And I know it may not be a popular opinion, but I liked that design. Okay, I liked the emo scene kid design. I thought it looked good. Thought it was weird that they made her from a MILF into a kid, but whatever. I could look past that. Barely, hardly. Unlike some of you freaks, I embrace change. But this is not a glow up, this is a glow down. It's the biggest and worst glow down I've ever seen. That is not the same character. That is some boring stain on the wall that just so happens to have the same name. Here's the thing. After seeing how disappointing the DHX Polly Pocket was, I didn't have high hopes for this series. But it's clear to me that they decided that Strawberry Shortcake is more important and really added more effort into this series. And I agree. After looking into it more, some of the writers and creators from the DHX My Little Pony and My Littlest Pet Shop worked on this show. So I guess it shouldn't be so surprising that this show actually shines. It feels like it has elements of My Little Pony other than the voice actors.
Literally scares crows. Right, Custard?
Okay, 10 out of 10. Best show of the year. When I say they drastically changed the personality of the characters, I mean, they made them a lot more fun and weird.
Lemon? That's cat food.
Weird is in right now. Weird is what people like. Huck is now better, if you ask me. He's got charm instead of just being boy. They have music be a major aspect of his character, which is going to be really convenient for this show since singing is a big part of it. I think that's something about the show I like a lot. It's very expressive. For better or worse. But that's not the most important thing happening to Strawberry Shortcake today. Let's talk about the face behind Strawberry Shortcake. And Care Bears, actually. Muriel Farian.
You want to know why I'm famous but not rich? And they go, why? I said, I'll give you some hints. Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bears, and Get Along Gang. No way!
I mentioned her earlier in this video, but thankfully, the funny one on TikTok tagged me in the comments of a video informing everyone that Muriel Farian, the creator responsible for what we think of as Strawberry Shortcake today, doesn't get any royalties from Strawberry Shortcake.
I do not own the copyrights to that, or the Care Bears, or the Get Along Gang.
She says life is too short for litigation, and she is currently focused on running her own studio.
She currently lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she knows she could legally pursue reparations, but she believes she's too old for that now, and there isn't much point to it anymore, especially now that it's been so long. Muriel had a lot of trouble when she went into a depressive episode after losing her husband, and she soon went into debt because of it. Well, Muriel is a smart woman and started really pushing her being the creator of Strawberry Shortcake, and even starting her own small business selling art prints and cute little earrings to help support her, which you can still buy from today. She started doing fan meetups and really getting active with the Strawberry Shortcake community. Now, some of you may be confused, typing, I thought Barbie was the one who created Strawberry Shortcake. Let me explain. Barbie came up with the initial design and the concept. Muriel is responsible for the current design that has been used for the toys and TV shows. Both of them are creators, don't get me wrong. But honestly, Muriel was more directly involved and had a bigger hand in what we think of Strawberry Shortcake today. Do I agree with Muriel choosing not to pursue legal action? Actually, yes, I do. And there's two reasons. The first is that there's a solid chance she would gain nothing from it. If the contract she signed didn't state anything about royalties, then she's kind of screwed. I mean, heck, royalties is a thing that we are currently fighting for today. Does she deserve royalties? Absolutely. I don't think anyone's arguing that. But legally, she just may not be entitled to them. She signed an agreement, and that was the agreement. The second reason is that she has a point. From her perspective, life is too short to pursue legal action. There wouldn't be much to gain from it for her. Let me tell you a story, and this is the basis as to why I feel this way. My grandfather, my papa, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He asked the doctor if it was worth pursuing chemotherapy. The doctor said it would probably extend his life by a few months, maybe a few years, but he was basically guaranteed to die. And so he chose not to pursue chemo, knowing full well the entire time he'd be sitting in a bed, sick. And he would rather be out living his life with his wife rather than do that for the rest of his life. He chose to live the best life he could with what little he had, rather than trying to do the impossible task of trying to escape death. That's why whenever I hear a story like this, there is a point where you need to prioritize your own life and your own joys over your fears and malice. Strawberry Shortcake is still a very beloved character. And honestly, I kind of wish it was more popular than what it is. Strawberry Shortcake has had staying power for sure, but it hasn't really been in the limelight for a while now. But what's your favorite iteration of Strawberry Shortcake? And who is your favorite character? Do you like the direction they are taking the series or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for the sponsor of this video. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get 10% off using code NEGATIVE. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.